Hello, everyone. As Kelly mentioned, my name is Steven, and I'm a millennial. And like my fellow Igniters, I embrace this. With that in mind, I'm going to ask you all to do me a favor and smile real quick. Hashtag nailed it. And that brings me to why I'm here today. Too often, our industry uses the same response to questions asking why we do things a certain way. We've always done it this way. We're all guilty of this, including myself. As a result, our industry has struggled to evolve and keep pace with others in the travel industry. To better understand, I'm going to share with you where I'm coming from. On my first day, I was handed this binder. I was told to make copies of every single page and update the outdated information. My first question was, is the information in here available in digital form? The millennials in the crowd will understand, and I'm sure a handful of the rest of you will too. I get my information from all my screens. The thought of copying 100 pieces of paper is like listening to nails on a chalkboard. And the last thing I'm going to do is reference a binder for information. I hate to admit this, but when it came my turn to train a new employee, I asked him to do the same exact thing. But why? Because we've always done it this way. I think of myself as someone who's creative and always looking for new ways to do things. That time I failed. Fast forward to today. As a national sales manager at Mammoth, my main responsibility is to market our resort as a ski destination for groups all over the United States. While I believe I've been successful, there is one area which I know I can improve. Which area is that, you ask? Well, this may come as a surprise, but it happens to be my own generation. Out of all the groups that I've worked with, I can only think of a handful that were comprised of millennials. The crazy thing about this, studies show that millennials prefer to travel in large groups. So why can't I, a millennial, convince my own generation to stay at our properties during their group trips to Mammoth? I'll tell you why. Because compared to the other options available, our booking process is too time-consuming and requires too many additional requirements. Well, in order to make sure my fellow millennials can live by their chosen life motto, I'm here today to challenge the status quo and provide you all with ideas on how I think our industry can break away from our old mindset to better accommodate the generation that craves adventure. Now, I'm going to take you down this road, and I've laid out a clear path, but I'm going to ask you all to have an open mind, because as you know, millennials are spontaneous, we're adventurous, we're unrealistic dreamers, but most importantly, we love to challenge the status quo. Across the industry, when it comes to group inquiries, we all use the same call to action. You may have noticed on my previous slide, I did not include RFP, because the likelihood of a millennial knowing what an RFP stands for is just as slim as you all know what YOLO stands for. Now imagine this, a group of millennials has decided to visit your resort. What's the first thing they decide to do? I'll tell you, they go to your resort's website to see if you offer group rates. What do they discover? More like, what don't they discover? Your group rates. The last thing millennials want to do is spend time emailing back and forth with your sales manager to figure out what the group rate is. The solution? Give them what they want, the ability to search, view, and book online. This group liked what they saw. Book direct. Added bonus, they signed up for a loyalty program. Millennials are suckers for loyalty programs. So why don't we offer an option like this that simplifies the group booking process to better accommodate my generation? The next step, well, the group needs to get to your resort. Just so happens your resort partners with the newest ride-sharing company, and with a simple tap of a button, the group books a pickup at the fraction of the cost of the alternative options and gets the added adventure of the classic American road trip. Ride-sharing is predicted to be the most used form of transportation in 10 to 15 years. Our resorts should look to create strategic partnerships with these companies to better facilitate the transportation needs of a generation that would prefer to hop in the car with a stranger than rent a car of their own. Let's continue on this path of simplicity. Well, it just so happens your resort now offers automatic check-in. Score. Each member in the group receives a pre-arrival text message with room details from location to access code. Waiting in lines at the front desk is a thing of the past. From airlines to large hotel chains, the goal is no longer how did we do, it's how are we doing right now. And this is accomplished by using a form of communication summed up in 4 letters: text. Messaging systems add another level of service to the travel industry. This form of communication is helping those that have already chosen to use it build loyalty, increase engagement, and enhance the overall guest experience. Today was my opportunity to speak about ways that I think our industry can use new technologies, current trends in the travel industry, to better accommodate my generation. There's a chance that some of you resorts out there are doing this, and for those, I commend you. But for the ones that are not, I say, let's challenge the status quo. Let's forget the phrase, we've always done it this way, and look for new methods and current existing opportunities and technology to make it easier for all millennials and all guests to visit our resorts. Thank you.